The shootings over the weekend in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio prompted a lot of emotions. Maybe you felt anger or fear or hopelessness. We weren't even there. My next guest doesn't have to imagine being at a shooting like that. Zoe Brookshire Risley was there when a gunman opened fire inside her church. You may remember the Knoxville Unitarian Universal Church on July 27th, 2008. She was just 7 years old at the time. Zoe, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're 18 now. When the shooting happened over this weekend, what went through your mind?
It's always heartbreaking. Knowing that, you know, something that I went through 11 years ago is happening on a much bigger scale for a lot of people. It's really overwhelming sometimes to think about how I saw a tweet and it was like, we've had 279 mass shootings in the US this year alone. And the tweet was from a couple days ago and someone commented saying this is already out of date.
And it's just, it's like heartbreaking. You were just a child when this happened. How has it affected you as you've grown up? Has it kind of been a burden that you survived it?
The way that it's affected me throughout my whole life, it affects every area of my life, my personal relationships, my school, my everything. I've lived with PTSD since I was 7, and I don't think that's anything any child should have to go through. You know, from the time I was 7 until I was about 12 or 13, I had the same dream every single night of a man climbing in my bedroom window and forcing me to watch while he shot my sister and my mother in the head. I am constantly on high alert when I'm in public. I don't like going to the movie theater. If people are open carrying in public, my heart starts racing and I start freaking out. And I've been in situations that are completely safe, but this paranoia, it's just always there. It's one of the hardest things that I've ever had to dealt with in my life. Unfortunately, I have a very loving and supporting family. My mother has done so much for me in the process of healing, and so is my church community. But, you know, it's one of those things that I'm always going to live with this. And I think all we can really do is try our best to make sure it doesn't happen to other people, which is, you know, why when I see another shooting happen, I, you know, think about the families who have lost loved ones, and I also think about the people who are still alive. You know, even though they still have their lives, they're never going to be the same.
I really appreciate your insight, Zoe, a shooting survivor in our own community. Thank you for sharing your insight on these latest mass shootings.